In today's episode of The Little Shot, I want to share some research about how much effort is involved in choosing to be empathetic. And ironically, I'm going to discuss this today so that you can have more empathy for people who seem to lack empathy. That was hard to get out, wasn't it? My name is Sarah Lobigeiger de Rodriguez, and I share strategic communication tips based on research each week. So if your communication needs a bit of a polish, make sure you subscribe. I'm sure you can remember a time when someone at work spoke to you in a way that made you feel absolutely disrespected, small, or just plain awful. Communication can really throw us around a bit at work and socially, and given that we speak outside of a script, we can always be prone to communication breakdowns. Empathy is one of the key skills needed for building and maintaining good connections. It's usually seen as one of the top soft skills you can have in your communication arsenal, but don't be deceived. The word soft skill can make you easily think a skill is easy or wishy-washy or perhaps non-obligatory, but I'd argue, especially now, your ability to activate empathy will build your resilience and help you progress both professionally and personally. So, if we reduced empathy to its simplest form, what is it? Empathy, the power of understanding and imaginatively entering into another person's feelings. Collins Dictionary. Empathy can increase cooperation and improve your interactions. So why isn't it a natural reaction when you're in a complex conversation? I mean, how many times have you opened your mouth and later analysed your words and thought, damn, I could have said that a bit better? Or have something levelled at you and thought, did they even think about how that comment made me feel? But here's the thing. Empathy is an active choice and it requires effort. If you found yourself in a difficult conversation with a boss, friend, or colleague, chances are at least one of you is at risk of checking out of the need to be empathetic. And this is where the research comes in. In moments when you felt violated or disappointed that more empathy wasn't used, it's important to consider that empathy takes active effort. In fact, a study from 2019 investigated a few reasons why people avoid using empathy and suggested that, on average, people prefer to avoid empathy because it costs too much. But here, they aren't simply referring to the impacts on cash flow. Instead, they posture that empathy takes more cognitive effort, more mental energy, because it needs you to hypothesize and think through what the other person is feeling. So, what can you do if you're finding it hard to add some empathy into difficult conversations and situations? Here's my top tips for you that are based on the research. Prime yourself to reflect on the other person's position actively, even if you're feeling overwhelmed. Trust that even if you're short on time, the use of empathy will always benefit the relationship. Focus on the other person's feelings by creating some space between your own. Avoid getting overwhelmed by your own emotions in the moment and try to rationally contextualize how the other person is feeling in relation to the situation. Try to name some emotions that the other person might be going through. Trust that even if you may get your hypotheses wrong on how the other person feels, it is still a fruitful activity to apply empathy because it's been shown to not only improve your ability to build rapport with the other person, but it can also build your coping mechanisms in the moment when you're under pressure or even experiencing stress and burnout. Acknowledge that research proves it's harder to be empathetic with total strangers, so make more effort if dealing with a new contact in a difficult situation. Be mindful that when you're stressed or distracted, you may be less likely to even want to be empathetic. Perhaps this is one of the reasons our communication deteriorates when we're under increased pressure. So therefore, I want you to actively strive to be empathetic even if you have a lot on your plate, or if you're feeling angry, or if you're feeling aggressive and annoyed. Register that stress, distraction, or time pressure can make your conversation partner be less empathetic with you. While engaging in abrasive or unthoughtful communication is not okay, acknowledge that sometimes factors get in the way that make it hard for people to choose their words well. I mean, they haven't all watched this little short episode, have they? But you have. So now I hope you can find ways to do better when communicating. So that's a wrap. It's not so easy, is it? But don't let yourself off the hook. Difficult situations call for more empathy when you're speaking. So today I want you to think about what factors might be getting in your way. How are you going to choose to be more empathetic when stressed, distracted, angry, or time poor? Write a goal, get it in action, and let me know how you go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this little short episode has inspired you and given you some new things to watch out for. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and why not share it with whoever you think needs it. Have a great day and see you next time. Ciao!
Enchanté.